This lecture will be all about your rows and columns, basically manipulating your worksheet a bit. You can insert and delete your cells, rows or columns by three methods. The first one would be to right click on the cell which you're at. So I will right click over here, and this drop down menu will give me two options of inserting and deleting. Now if I press insert, Excel shows up another pop-up menu, and this over here has four options. Remember that Excel moves either to the right or downwards when you are giving it commands regarding entering cells. It never moves to your left or upwards. Shifting your cells to the right means that a new cell would be inserted over here and the rest of your cells will be moved to the right in the same sequence. When I press OK, you can see the effect. This is the new cell and the rest have moved on accordingly. Now if I want to delete this cell and bring this back to order, I will right click on this cell again and you can select delete. When you are deleting, Excel will allow you to move left or up. So I want to shift my cells back to the left. Okay, and this is just as we started. Now if I want to insert a cell and shift the cells down, you will see that all of these will move one cell down and you will get a new empty cell over here, like this. If we delete this, you will delete it like this, shift cells up, okay, and this is back. When you insert and you want to insert an entire row or column, you will select these options. If I select an entire row, this row will get pushed downwards and you will get an empty row over here. When I do OK, you can see the effect. If I want a new column, I will do insert and entire column. So as my cursor is over here, this entire column will move to your right and you will get a new column in this space. Okay, so now you can see the effect. If I want to delete a row or column, say I want to delete this row, so I will put my cursor over here and go to delete, and then you will say entire row. When you're deleting the row, the cells beneath will move upwards. Okay, so you can see this line got skipped. If I want to delete a column, like this column, so I will put my cursor over here, delete, and the entire column. Okay, so now you can see that column is gone. You can perform the same actions with these options over here in your Home tabs ribbon named cells. So you have the options of inserting new cells, rows, columns in sheets, and deleting the same rows, columns, cells in sheets, or even formatting your cells. You can move about your cells in ranges by selecting them and dragging them. Now if I want to move these four to somewhere over here on this worksheet, I will select these four and then you wait for your cursor to change into this four-pointed arrow sign. Then you click it and you drag it to your cells, required cells, and you can see that these cells have moved over here. Similarly, if I want to replace, for example, this 2 with 3, and I can move the cell by dragging it like this, selecting it and then dragging it. Excel will ask you to replace your data and you will say OK. So you have changed the data like this. So you can move around your cells easily like this. The best way to insert or delete your rows and columns are these shortcuts given at the right of your page. Let's try these. To add a row or column, you need to press Ctrl and plus and shift together, all of these three keys together. So if I want to add another column over here and push this column to your right, you will place your cursor over here above C like this while selecting the entire column, and then you will press Ctrl, shift and plus together, and you see that a new column has been created and the one over here has been pushed to your right. You can insert another column over here again by clicking over here, Ctrl, shift and plus again. Same goes with rows. If I want a new row, say over here, and push the data from this point onwards downwards, then you will select your row from this end, click on 3 over here, and then you will press Ctrl, shift and plus again. You can see you have created an entire new row. So this is a very easy way. You can insert a lot of rows and columns like this very easily, rather than going over there and selecting these commands or right clicking on your cells and trying to insert new columns and rows. Another short way of inserting a lot of rows and columns at the same time would be to select as many rows and columns as you need. For example, I want 4 new columns starting from D and ending at G. I will select these 4 from this point, and then I will press Ctrl, shift and plus. So these 4 columns have been created and the following 4 have been pushed over to your right. Now if I want to delete columns and rows, I have another shortcut over here, Ctrl and the minus sign. This will allow you to delete your rows and columns. For example, I want to delete the column E. I will click on E and simply press Ctrl and minus together, and your column is gone. Same goes with the rows, Ctrl, minus, and the row is gone. If I want to delete rows and columns, a lot of rows and columns together, like we were adding a lot of rows and columns together, you will again do the same. Select a wide range and press Ctrl and minus, and all of it's gone. If you apply these shortcuts on a single cell selection, like I am selecting the cell over here and then I press Ctrl, shift and plus together, Excel will again give me the pop-up menu which we were getting while clicking your right click. So you will have to select an option over here again and then you go OK. So you will get your new column and row. The same goes with the shortcut for deleting your rows and columns.